Daryl G.
What's good, y'all? It's your man Daryl G, just keeping it real in the field. And today I want to talk to y'all about Google Stadia. Google's new attempt at coming back into gaming by trying to do something that, well, it's been done before. And same thing something that Microsoft and other companies are doing as well. But they got a little bit of different take to it. So, I figure it's worth talking about and kind of reviewing a little bit. So what basically Google Stadia is a way for you to be able to play any type of game that you want at what they claim to be up to 4K 60 frames per second on pretty much any device. So what does that mean? That means you don't need a powerful computer or PC like I have, like you probably have to play your games. Now you can play them on anything. You got a Chromecast? You're good to go. You got suckered into buying one of these nice, Apple thin, super light laptops that can't play a damn card game? You're still good to go. You don't have an Xbox? Doesn't matter. You're good to go. You could probably end up playing it on your phone. You can play it on anything. Anything that has a screen at all and an internet connection. You'll be able to play the top games, all of that. I'm not going to lie to you. To me, that seems like a pretty good idea, right? I'll get up in the morning, maybe want to play my game a little bit, but I don't necessarily want to fire up the computer and everything else. I can jump on my phone, play a few games on there. And I know a lot of y'all are saying, we don't want to play games on the phone, but that's a screen that's in everybody's pocket. It's where everything is going. It's going to where you can move from screen to screen. So it's coming. And if you're able to play your big, AAA title games on your phone, I think you'll probably be okay with it. But, whatever. Anyways, you can play those games on there. Then you could switch up and say, you know what? Hey, it's time for me to go to work. Let me go ahead and go. Let me go ahead and get my self-driving car because that's coming. Go ahead and get that Tesla. Go ahead and sit in the passenger seat, lean back while it drives me to work and play right there in my game. What if you could play on the screen on the dash? Be great. After all, you're not driving. You're not doing anything else, right? That's where you want to go. You got a little break at work, you pull your phone out, you're good to go. Maybe you're on your work computer or something and, your personal computer you're using at work, your laptop or something like that. Lightweight like my MacBook Air. No problem. Flip it open, go ahead and pull it up, you're good to go. Play it anywhere you go, anytime you want. Fantastic idea. So what's the downside? Well, the downside is the problem everybody always has, which is bandwidth, right? Now, I know at the E3 show, several people who tried it, and I know Boogie2988 put out a video about it as well, that said that they were using about a 25 megabit connection to stream that content. And, that's a connection that a lot of people throughout the United States do have, in larger cities. But, I'm in the state of Florida, and I can tell you right now, once you get outside of the 3-4 major cities, it is hard to get a decent network connection. Most of the time it's DSL. There's very little fiber being run. And something else too. I don't know if what I pay for, if I'm even getting what I pay for. Because let's be real. By the time I pay for it, it gets to me, it gets split across my neighborhood and everything else that they do. It doesn't matter what level I pay for. Unless I get a fiber line run straight to my house, I still get the same 8 p.m. slowdown, 8 to 10 slowdown throughout the day. Sometimes your Netflix videos stutter a little bit, Hulu stutters a little bit. So, I'll be real, even at certain times I have, 100 megabit, connection here just about, and I still get a little stuttering just from a Netflix video. I can't imagine what it'd be like trying to play a first-person shooter over that thing. And maybe that's not the intention. We'll have to see. But the second thing that brings into play are data caps. Whether you have a data cap or whether you may get throttled. This may end up leading to some throttling. I mean, to stream a game, one single game, you're talking about several gigabytes a day, daily, to stream that game for a single play session for one day. That's a lot. And that's not including just your regular watching views or your regular streaming habits and all of the other things that you do. I mean, this gets very expensive quickly. For me, I've got myself in the house. I also have a wife who's streaming movies and things as well. I have kids in the house who are also streaming movies. They're playing games. I mean, if we had this kind of setup going on, I don't think I could afford the internet connection that would be necessary to have all of that running at one time. So again, this is something that you can do, but that's going to be hard pressed to do it. And once you get outside the major cities, it's going to be, you're going to be hard pressed to find people who have that kind of connection. The second problem that you have with this particular this item is you don't own the games. And you have to depend on Google to not cancel your shit, and all your stuff just disappear out of the blue. Now you know, I don't know if you know about Google's track record, but they have a big graveyard and a long list of projects and things that they've abandoned over the years. In fact, hell, if they wouldn't have abandoned Google Fiber and kept moving that shit out, maybe I could actually promote this type of product, because then you might have more people who actually have access. But that's another one on the wayside, so it is what it is. And so it brings to that question, if you don't own the game, then what do you own? Because what Google's telling us right now is you are going to take this device, or basically you can take this service, because there's really no device unless you need one. Take this service, and you're going to buy the game the way that you normally would, which means you're going to pay $59, you're going to pay $60 a month, $60 for that game. Same way you would if you went down to the store and bought it. You went and bought it at Walmart. Same thing as you would if you bought it on Steam. Now, I'm assuming $60 because, with the console games, normally they come out 60. Sometimes on the PC they come out at 50. But I'm sure Google's going to add that tax onto it, that same old 60, that $10 to $20 extra additional tax on it. So I'm assuming $60. And because of that, I don't know how comfortable people feel with buying something that you don't own, that you can't hold, and trusting Google's going to be the one to be responsible for it. I'll be honest with you. I have Microsoft Game Pass, and $15 a month, I can play games, just about any game that comes out. Their first party titles are on there immediately, and most other titles, if they come along or they sign up for it, I may have to wait a few months, but that's okay. And that's $15 a month. And something more along those lines, I think, would have worked a lot better for this type of service than just to have you pay $60 for a new game, and then that's it. You just hold on to that and you hope that, hey, that thing will still be there for you when you come back, a year later or 6 months later, and you want to play your game again. And that does kind of lead to something that does worry me with the next next group of consoles and things like that come out is, one, the storage space is artificially low on a lot of these consoles. I mean, a lot of the specs that are coming out for some of these new consoles, you look at Xbox Scarlet, you look at the PS5, we really got to look at what size hard drive we got on these things. Because I'm telling you, even right now, I mean, you may get, 3 games, 4 games on your hard drive, and then you're hoping that PlayStation's still around to service that game back to you. You're hoping that Microsoft's going to be around to get that game back to you, but you don't physically own anything. You don't possess anything at all. And so that's a concern with all of these, and that's especially a concern with Google Stadia, where really everything's in the cloud. You don't even have a machine to download the game to onto a hard drive and at least say, at least I have it locally, physically, and maybe one day I can get some access to it at some point, an emulator, something, if things go defunct. You just don't have that choice. And, until those two things get worked out, I'm sorry, I just, this is not something that I'm all that excited about, to be honest with you. Now, I am excited about the prospect of going to a system where I can stream my games and things like that. I could maybe pay a monthly fee, $20, $30, and I don't know if it's it's going to be something that Steam eventually comes up with. I mean, again, Microsoft and there's a couple other companies that are doing this and have tried this in the past. That failed just due to bandwidth issues. But I still question exactly where we're going with this idea of you own nothing yet you pay us full price as if you do own it. Hell, even just buying a game that's half baked like Anthem, thanks a lot. I'm not even going there. And so, with all that being said, again, I just don't know who this product is for. I'm not sure if this is something that I would recommend. I think if it was more like the game, the Xbox Game Pass was, where at least I know I can play those games. I'm not really buying the individual game. I'm just playing it. And I can take it from, my phone onto something else, onto my laptop, things like that, other devices. I wouldn't feel bad about it. In fact, I think it would be a great service. I just don't want to have to buy the game and trust that Google's going to be there to still service it 2-3 years from now. But yo, it's been good. Daryl G, one more time. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, holler back at your boy, hit them comments up. Let me know how you feel about this Google Stadia. Is this something that you're looking into? Is this something that you think you might want to get? Do you trust Google that much? I don't know. Not sure. Not sure how to feel. I'm just telling you how I feel. All right, y'all. Peace.